What does the abbreviation CUC stand for, and who represented contemporary Ukrainian cinema at the International Forum of Arts Gogolfest? How a young lawyer without director's education makes successful films, and the graduates of a specialized university prepare new forms of cinema. Watch now in the program ProART. Everything that happened there happened right before our eyes, before the lens, and before the camera eye. Sometimes heroes communicate with the operator during the film process and can tell him some of their secrets and nuances of their life. Your face is not the diary in which you get marks, but on which you write your thoughts. Our main task is to popularize Ukrainian films. In what way it will be done, everyone will decide for themselves. This is how we are connected. We want to make high-quality Ukrainian cinema, which is contemporary in the viewer's eyes. Today, more and more people talk about the importance of national cinema for the country. In fact, young people can create a new cinema in a new country. Director Valeria Sochevets recently graduated from the Karpenko-Kar University and decided to create an organization called Contemporary Ukrainian Cinema (CUC), which would help films of young filmmakers appear on the big screen. These young and creative people have made themselves known not only in Ukraine, but already in many other countries. I'm engaged in a film program as a curator for the 5th year. When I was a student, Maxim Demsky, who is the director of the festival Gogolfest, suggested making a program of Ukrainian short-length films. That is how our organization CUC appeared. When the viewing audience became very interested in Ukrainian films, we realized that it was necessary to continue to show them such films, and so we created our own public organization and called it Contemporary Ukrainian Cinema. CUC is a young organization with 18 people and staff. Not only directors who graduated from specialized universities work here. There are those who once tried their hand in the film industry and opted for Ukrainian cinema. Pavlo Ostrikov, a lawyer who graduated from the Kyiv Aviation University, is now making films. At some moment, I realized that I wanted to tell stories not only in movies. I'm also a stand-up comedian actor and prepare my own monologues. So he's achieving success in his new field of work. His films Graduates of '97 won an award at the Odessa Film Festival International Program in the category Best Short Film, and also won the prestigious Youth Jury Award at the Swiss Film Festival in Locarno. I try to use every stage where I can bring my story to the viewing audience. Gogolfest is familiar to me because I have been taking part in this festival for 3 years now in the Golden CUC. As it turns out, today I am going to present my film Black Current. This film is very short and is about how much people do not notice their own capabilities and do not pay attention to their surroundings.
Доброго дня, Якимчук Ельвіра Павлівна. Ми довго за вами слідкували, але тепер ми впевнені, ви нам підходите. З цього моменту ви належите до масонської ложі. Тепер ви будете керувати світом і задавати тенденції розвитку людства.
The short film Bus Stop was his first official film. Despite the cheerful nature of Pavlo Ostrikov, a former actor of the cheerful and witty club, he's attracted by the theme of the loneliness and emotional torment of heroes.
Толік! Ти підеш зі мною!
Ну я не хочу бачити, як ти це робиш.
It is interesting for me to talk about the theme of loneliness, as it is close to my heart, though I have many friends. This feeling runs through our entire life, and everyone faces it. I really want to talk about this feeling.
Я ненавиджу твою маму!
Прибери кришку, не так! Не свій! Прибери кришку, не так! Прибери свої шкафи!
Прибери своїх друзів! Я не можу забігти!
Прибери кришку, не так!
Що, тепер ми Ілону не повернути?
Of course, the dream is to make a full-length film. Moreover, the screenplay is already written. I simply need to find opportunities to bring it to fruition and put it on the big screen for the general public viewing audience. I really want to write more and shoot more. So, for the time being, that is my ultimate dream, to which I am inspiring. Gogolfest is like a godfather for the CUC. It was exactly here that this movement of contemporary Ukrainian cinema was formed. Yes, both Vlad Troitsky and Maxim Demsky were connected to this. These people had to deal with this process. They give it some energy and convey a message to the point that it makes you want to do something special and interesting. And when you say that there is no money for this, they say there is financing, and Lara, go for it. There will be money. Earlier, I never thought about this and was never engaged in administrative work or management. For all participants, the main task is the widespread popularization of contemporary Ukrainian cinema works. Valeria is one of the most active of the promoters in this industry. She, like her colleagues, is sure that there are a lot of excellent Ukrainian films. For example, when I ride in a taxi, I don't get out of taxi until the driver promises that he will go and watch some Ukrainian film in a movie theater. And I mean not one of the films that I was involved in, but simply a Ukrainian-made film. Our added bonus is that we're all different, and everyone has their own style. And that's why it is interesting that we all together create contemporary Ukrainian cinema. But at the same time, everyone involved in the process is allowed to have their own opinion. Alexandra Chuprina is a professional director among those young artists who are looking for their format in the cinema and form their own style in their work. This is not the first time she's participating in the festival programs at Gogolfest. Every time meeting with the audience, critics and colleagues for her is a pleasant excitement and thrill. The film Diary, which I presented here, was demonstrated at Ukrainian festivals. Therefore, I'm glad to be in the company of documentary and contemporary Ukrainian films. I'm very grateful to the organizers of the Contemporary Ukrainian Cinema Project that they are holding such a fantastic event for the third year now. Creative people in cinematography need such communication in places where they can meet each other and share their creative ideas with one another. Today, Ukrainian society faces a major problem in the sphere of cinema, namely the gap between the author and the viewer. I believe there are enough places in Kyiv for meeting to communicate with each other. I want them to somehow transcend the periphery.
Сегодня я вновь вернулся к одной из своих любимых игр – Mortal Kombat. Я создал вот это.
Alexandra Chuprina presented in the program of Gogolfest her short film Diary. This is a story about a teenager named Denis, who is 14 years old. Every day for 3 months straight, he recorded his personal thoughts on a video camera.
Я сегодня, наверное, на нервной почве впервые попробовал курить. Если бы это была сказка, школа была бы негативным персонажем с высокими моральными ценностями. Как Бэтмен, только злой.
Actually, it is a video diary, a very personal story. This is a story about growing up, about love, and finding yourself. It is about birth, life, and death. Actually, it is about our life, a very personal story about teenagers.
Я очнулся в каком-то кирпичном здании. Ощущение, как будто меня ударили чем-то тупым и тяжелым по голове. Здесь не люди, здесь какие-то звери, они ужасны. Они готовы продать все, во что верят, все идеи. Они поклоняются каким-то картинкам.
The hero is very contradictory. Probably we did not find him, rather he came to us. Alexandra suggested to young people that they describe their own video diaries. The initial idea was to show that the phrase "a diary is your appearance" used in school seems to be incorrect. But in the end, the film turned out absolutely different because it was about me and my life.
Вот эта пауза, она и качает. Вот если ты научишься эту паузу делать, то оно качает. Вот музыка, она должна качать. Вот знаешь, такой драйв, кач. Вот это вот как раз вот этот пропуск, вот это и есть этот кач.
Denis is one of the few people who truly liked the idea from the very beginning. He understood that he could find himself as a professional here and can't understand what exactly he wants to do in life. It became for him some kind of a therapy and a definite revelation. In essence, he found us through his own personal enthusiasm and his zeal. In fact, it is quite obvious in the film that he's such a man that is sufficiently artistic by nature.
Николай, Диана, Земфира, Макс, Богдана, Мария, Николай, Людмила, Лора, Остап, Лиана, Яна, Иван, Бединазар, Гарри, Георгий, Аркадий, Дар, Лена, Ирина, Инкетель, Бин, Павел, Себастьян, Петр, Эдуард. Раунд!
Теперь мы летим во вселенную Марвел.
A modern audio-video diary, according to film producers. It is necessary for such people as Denis to discharge all and any accumulated energy. The video camera for them is like a therapy, a kind of silent psychoanalyst with whom you can share your thoughts. Sometimes I want to express my emotions, but I don't want to go to psychologist. I decided to record everything using a camera and talk for about 5 to 10 minutes. After that, I deleted what I had recorded, but the diaries that I recorded while shooting the film, I sent to Alexandra on the very same day that I recorded them. So Denis became a hero, because indeed for 3 months, every day, he recorded this diary. It was joint creativity. It was very interesting, something absolutely new for me. These 3 months were truly great for me.
Вообще, мне кажется, в нашей стране свадьбу делают для родственников, причем собираются все родственники, которых ты даже не знаешь. Вы одеваетесь в какие-то такие странные костюмы с вот этими платьями, в которых жутко жарко, никакого от этого удовольствия не получаете.
From the very beginning, Alexandra as a director had a desire to observe the teenagers, find out how they live and what exactly excites them. Together with cameraman Ilya Yegorov, she has developed the entire strategy of this rather difficult production of a film about contemporary school children. Before the work with Diary, everything was connected with the revolution on the Maidan with volunteers. I wanted to have a look at other people that are seemingly not some kind of heroes, meaning the most everyday, average school children and teenagers. When I came to the school, I immediately noticed Denis. Initially, their idea was to demonstrate the different thoughts and emotions of many children and teenagers. But they used my story, a kind of a love story. I just wrote a diary, a stream of consciousness for a day, so to speak. Alexandra took only my story, my life. In fact, it is possible to make a whole bunch of 10 films with different stories.
Вообще, у меня появилась теория, что Марта просто меня, избегает, потому что не знает, как на все это реагировать. Потому что она точно знает, что мне нравится. Думаю, завтра все Марте скажу. Или, на этой неделе. Вот где-то на этой неделе, потому что год заканчивается и уже пора. Нельзя оттягивать.
This film is about childhood, about growing up, about how a character is formed, about how a person becomes higher than themselves and different by overcoming any obstacle.
Блін, це ж чарівне зеркальце, то есть скло, через яке можна бачити інші світи.
And it is not always obvious whether it is good to be grown up, because it is a metamorphosis, but not necessarily positive. I think the film is about that. The result is successful cooperation of the director and cameraman. Ilya Yegorov argued his approach to work for the sake of achieving a great result using the production of the short-length film with Alexandra Cheprina as a brilliant example. In Diary, using his camera methods, he tried to realize in full the director's ideas. For me, the approach of a director is very important, first and foremost. The screenplay should be perfect. I'm not interested in the ordinary, formal approach where I have technical work. I've gotten used to asking questions, sometimes inconvenient for filmmakers. If I take on a project, I try to delve into the film completely, if my work on the film is interesting for me. Roughly speaking, the basic idea is that when a good cameraman gets down to work, he should first understand what the film is about and what are its main ideas. Very often people ask me whether it is a documentary or a feature film. I think the main hero is a scriptwriter and his life. And we followed that life. We were very lucky in many aspects. There was magic in this story. We searched for him, and in the end, we found him. Ilya Yegorov is a cameraman from an excellent school headed by Bogdan Verzbitsky of the Karpenko Car University. The combination of a play and a documentary film does not happen by accident in cinema. Sasha and I discussed a lot about this story. We discussed many of the details. We together developed some approaches. We discussed who could be the potential heroes of the film, and together we went to meet him. I am grateful that some of my ideas and remarks and observations were heard. This is a productive approach, when a cameraman not only focuses on technique, but also has the chance to express his thoughts and share his creative ideas with the director. After all, sometimes the views of the man behind the camera can contribute more to a film than its director. I am very grateful to my team, Denise, and everyone, and all the guys that basically allowed us to turn our eyes to them. According to the founder of the contemporary Ukrainian cinema project, cinema in every country has its own conventional style. In Ukrainian cinema, as in other spheres, a turning point is on the horizon. One style will appear, due to which it will be possible to define contemporary Ukrainian cinema. Young actors are convinced that it is necessary to show the realities of the country. The high-quality contemporary cinema art will be able to proudly and creatively represent Ukraine in the international filmmaking industry.